Stop doing that behind the scenes that we know you're doing. Some people may get, because I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm not playing.
Apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Everybody has found out that that wasn't true. Apparently, it's not that hard to figure out who owns property.
Nothing right now.
Are you saying Mayweather has no money?
Oh, I got a bag back there.
Can you bring it up here? Where's the money?
During a revealing appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, legendary rapper and actor Ice Cube made waves by calling out Floyd Mayweather Jr. over what he described as a fraudulent $42 million real estate claim. Ice Cube criticized the transformation of Mayweather's public persona, from Pretty Boy Floyd, a technically gifted, undefeated boxer admired for his defensive brilliance, to Money Mayweather, a character seemingly obsessed with wealth, luxury, and fame. Cube expressed concern over how Mayweather now leans heavily on exhibition bouts and questionable business ventures rather than maintaining his legacy through true competition. Joe Rogan echoed these sentiments, suggesting that Floyd's ongoing participation in fights isn't driven by a desire to prove anything in the ring, but rather a need to fund his high-maintenance lifestyle.
Who knows?
Well, it's interesting when fighters figure out ways to do that, too, like what Floyd is doing. What Floyd is doing is so interesting. He retires from fighting, and he says, I'll just start boxing people who have no chance.
Hey, why not, you know? I mean, exhibition. Like, we saw that in, what was Rocky 3 or something?
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, he started doing exhibitions with Hulk Hogan and, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And got caught. I mean, he got hurt, like, you know, dealing with that. So, I mean, I think people want to see Floyd fight. You know, some people want to see him lose.
Broke his hands a lot. So when he was younger, they called him Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah.
And then he changed his name to Money. And when he changed his name to Money, he turns heel.
Yeah.
He became like this guy and everybody wanted to see him get beat.
Yeah.
And he's the most unhittable guy in the history of the sport.
Yes, sir.
He's right up there with Pernell Whitaker. Like, those are the two guys that I say are like the most elusive guys in modern, not, you know, past Willie Pep, in modern era. Pernell Whitaker and Floyd. Floyd's even more impressive because he stands right in front of guys.
He stands right in front of you and you can't hit him.
Right in front of you.
And you can't get a good one on him.
You can't get shit on him.
It's one of the most amazing skill sets. He's like a you know, one of those like Minnesota Fats kind of pool players that know all the trick shots and
Although Floyd Mayweather is often hailed as one of boxing's all-time greats, his relentless flaunting of wealth has sparked growing public backlash. A recent instance that drew heavy criticism was his claim of owning $42 million in real estate. This declaration, however, was quickly dismantled through publicly accessible property records, which proved the figures were grossly exaggerated or entirely fabricated. Fans and financial watchdogs alike condemned the false flex, viewing it as a desperate attempt to maintain an image of financial dominance. While Mayweather's talent and achievements in the ring remain undisputed, his tendency to exaggerate or invent aspects of his wealth has begun to tarnish the very legacy he once protected with his fists.
Upper Manhattan. Everybody has found out that that wasn't true. Apparently, it's not that hard to figure out who owns property. This is not an indictment on Floyd Mayweather as a boxer. He is one of the best boxers we've ever seen. Anybody who is privy to Floyd Mayweather's antics outside of the ring knows Floyd ain't bought no goddamn apartment buildings in no Upper Manhattan, bro. We knew that when he told us. I'm not sure who Floyd Mayweather thought he was fooling. Nothing about Floyd Mayweather outside of a boxing ring says savvy. I'm sorry.
In 2021, a troubling financial scandal began to brew involving Floyd Mayweather and rapper Tyga. The duo reportedly engaged luxury watch broker Leonard Sulmanov to acquire rare and high-end timepieces and jewelry. While initial payments were made, further financial obligations went unfulfilled. By August 2024, the matter escalated into a federal lawsuit. Sulmanov accused Mayweather and Tyga of violating multiple legal frameworks, including the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations (RICO) Act. The lawsuit cites fraud, civil conspiracy, breach of contract, unjust enrichment, and civil theft. The items in question include rare Audemars Piguet, Richard Mille, and Patek Philippe watches, as well as premium diamond jewelry, altogether totaling nearly $4 million.
This is how Floyd Mayweather and Tyga might get away without paying $4 million in jewelry. So a lot of wealthy people buy assets or luxury items under business entities. This allows them to pay less tax while also having protection against lawsuits personally. In this case, Tyga and Floyd used a watch broker and some upfront cash to make the deal go through. But as the days passed, no payment was made on the balance that was due, and even their agent admitted they owed $4 million. So what these two did is they signed and paid using a business, and then before paying the full amount, gifted it to themselves on behalf of the business that bought it. Therefore, the broker can't go after Floyd or Tyga because they didn't buy it from them personally. A business that they may control bought it and then gifted it to them, but in this sense is completely separate. But what they did is how the rich get richer. Us in our daily lives have no protection from lawsuits, but as soon as you use a business, the laws completely change. So I'm not saying you should do this or that they'll even get away with this, but it's definitely an interesting way to get expensive jewelry cheaper.
Mayweather has found a lucrative niche in exhibition matches, capitalizing on his fame by facing social media stars and influencers in high-profile but low-stakes contests. One of the most profitable of these was his bout with YouTube celebrity Logan Paul. Although the fight was non-competitive and ended without a definitive winner, it reportedly generated approximately $50 million in total revenue. This windfall wasn't merely due to Mayweather's brand power but also a result of massive viewership, global media attention, and a slew of sponsorships. These events continue to pad Mayweather's bank account while allowing him to avoid the risk of real defeat in the ring.
Believe how much money Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul made to box each other. There was over 1 million pay-per-view buys, which means there's $50 million in revenue. And Floyd made $10 million just to show and half of the pay-per-view buys, which is $35 million. Meanwhile, Logan made $250,000 just to show and 10% of the pay-per-view buys, which is about $5 million. And that's not even to mention the sponsors. Floyd said that patches on his trunk cost $30 million to sponsor. Do you think Floyd is capping or no? He even came rocking an OnlyFans sponsorship. And Logan probably even made more in sponsorships than Floyd because he has a much larger platform. Walked into the ring with this Charizard Pokemon and now it's worth $1 million. He also made tons of other sponsorships with Atari and other crypto companies. Hit that follow button if you didn't know this.
Despite the apparent financial success of these exhibition events, underlying problems have emerged. Logan Paul publicly accused Floyd Mayweather of failing to pay him the $3 million promised for their fight. This allegation suggested deeper financial dysfunction behind Mayweather's operations. Logan's statements raised eyebrows, hinting that Floyd, despite his immense fortune, may be defaulting on contractual obligations, an act that undermines his professional credibility and exposes potential instability within his financial affairs.
Floyd Mayweather is bankrupt. At least that's what Logan Paul thinks. Logan hopped on the Walkway to Fight Club show, and when he was asked about being paid, he was nothing short of honest.
It's unfortunate because, saying Floyd Money Mayweather, surely I was going to get my check fairly quickly, right? And that didn't happen, so I'm sure it'll come eventually, right? I realized, okay, I'm being strung along. This is a classic, hey, buddy, you're the new guy in this industry. We're going to puppeteer you however we want. Hop on for the ride and shut up. Instead of shutting up, I make fun of him on social media and let everyone know that he doesn't have any money. I kind of joke and I'm facetious and I point the finger at Floyd. Well, I don't know if it's his fault. Maybe a little bit, but something tells me Floyd doesn't control where the money goes. Or maybe he does. I don't know. And I don't really care. I just want my money.
Did you fight Floyd or something? Yeah. Did he pay you to lose? What happened?
He paid me. I wish you'd paid me.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You got it on you by any chance?
I have it in Nigerian money. I'll give you 10 million in Nigerian money. That's about $1,100 a month. So is that your only loss was Floyd?
No, I didn't lose. It was an exhibition, so there's no loser.
There's no loser in exhibition?
No.
So you both are winners? It's like a tie. That's not a good feeling. It's like tongue kissing your sister or something. Not a great.
The situation escalated when Logan Paul threatened legal action, asserting that he would sue Mayweather for the unpaid money. This legal tension illuminated a broader pattern of financial disorganization within Mayweather's camp. Logan's frustration reflects a sentiment shared by others who have worked with the boxing icon, namely that agreements are often not honored in full. These disputes challenge the pristine image Mayweather tries to project and raise concerns about how he manages his financial empire outside the ring.
Or is that something that you can't disclose right now?
He has not paid me in full. That is a fact.
No
short a few mil, yeah.
Wow. Still a few mil.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Have you been in contact with him?
Nah, we're taking this one to court.
No, are you being serious? Is this like a...
Do I look serious, lady?
You do. I'm just making sure. I apologize.
Really?
I'm just...
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. Yeah, we're taking him to court.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So,
yeah, see you in the courtroom. Congrats, you're going to prison, Floyd.
The revenue model for Mayweather's exhibition matches often includes significant sponsorship deals, particularly with emerging and volatile industries like cryptocurrency. These partnerships have contributed immensely to the profitability of his events. However, the boxer's deep involvement with crypto companies has stirred skepticism. Many questioned whether Mayweather genuinely understood the nature of the digital currencies and blockchain startups he was promoting, or if he was merely cashing in on another quick money trend without due diligence.
That's how you know investing in crypto is the cool thing to do right now. So Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather just had their fight. Logan went 8 rounds with the 50-0 Mayweather, but look at their shorts. So first of all, here is Logan's shorts that he wore. He had Blockfolio as a sponsor, which, you know, we all track our portfolios on Blockfolio, and he also had Superbid. Superbid is some kind of random coin that sponsored Logan. Their whole website right now is just about how they sponsored him. But let's take a look at Floyd's shorts. Floyd Mayweather was sponsored by Ethereum Max, which is just some random ass coin that paid Floyd to put them on his shorts. As you can see, it's one of those 0.00 shit coins. It's down 10% even after the promo. So I obviously don't recommend buying any of those coins. But you can see that Floyd and Logan were both sponsored by crypto companies, which is honestly pretty cool for an event this big.
Further scrutiny of Mayweather's crypto endorsements revealed troubling possibilities. Reports suggested that Mayweather accepted large sums to promote various cryptocurrency projects, some of which lacked legitimacy. Investigations indicated he may have endorsed platforms and tokens without conducting proper background checks, inadvertently encouraging fans to invest in ventures that later collapsed. This not only put his followers at financial risk, but also damaged his own reputation as a trusted figure in sports and business.
At one point, you were getting celebrity endorsements. One was DJ Khaled, hilarious, and Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And he posted on his Instagram him taking this what do you call it? The Centra card?
Centra card.
The Centra card. And going and purchasing something with his Bitcoin at a store.
Yeah.
He did that knowing that it didn't work.
Floyd Mayweather doesn't know anything that's going on, really. So like what
we all know that.
Yeah.
The guy can't read, Yeah. How much did you guys pay him?
Like $1 million.
He took that knowing or not caring if it worked?
It was just not knowing, right? Like they didn't care. He does a million promotions like that. It was basically you speak to his manager.
Yeah.
He's like, this is Floyd's price. And you send the money over.
Yeah.
The manager makes his little cut from it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just says, what do you want me to say? And what do you want me to do?
Okay.
Right. And you just basically give him his script and he just does it.
Imagine listening to Floyd Mayweather, a man who can't even read, for investing advice. That's exactly what happened last year when he was paid to promote the absolute Ponzi scheme token Ethereum Max, along with other celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Antonio Brown, and Paul Pierce. The coin shortly fell 97% right after the launch, leaving millions of fans and investors bankrupt. So to see what coins you should be actually buying, be sure to follow me. But like I was saying,
the involvement of high-profile celebrities like Floyd Mayweather in cryptocurrency promotions has sparked a broader conversation about the ethics and dangers of such endorsements. When athletes and entertainers publicly back digital assets without proper understanding or disclosure, they lend their credibility to what may ultimately be fraudulent or unstable projects. This trend has resulted in widespread financial harm, prompting calls for stricter regulatory oversight to prevent future abuses of influence and protect ordinary investors from being misled by fame-fueled hype.
people executing these scams are like Anon people hiding behind a Pepe avatar. And of course, there's a laundry list of famous influencers, Logan Paul, Kim Kardashian's David Dobrik, that have all endorsed these absolute shitcoin scam casino rugs that leaves their investors high and dry because they paid them a bunch of money up front and maybe they didn't know any better because it's such a nascent space. But I am just flabbergasted that the highest paid boxer, one of the most famous people on the planet, Floyd Mayweather, has managed to become a repeat offender as a scam artist. Now everybody knows Floyd's an opportunist. He's an entrepreneur. He likes to make money. He always has money, talks about money. That's his shtick. That's his persona. That's fine. You can make money. You can be a hustler. You can get paid a bunch to box, do whatever you want.
The unchecked influence of celebrities in promoting dubious financial schemes, especially within the crypto space, has created an urgent need for transparency and accountability in influencer marketing. Despite the string of controversies surrounding his business ventures, Mayweather continues to boast about his unparalleled earnings. He often compares himself to other boxing legends, asserting that no one has amassed as much wealth as he has. Yet these declarations now exist under a cloud of suspicion, as ongoing legal battles and financial irregularities suggest his money management may not be as masterful as he claims.
Still waiting. Well, I think I'm separated now. I don't think there's no boxer in history that has accomplished what I've accomplished. Not bragging or boasting, just speaking the truth. I take my hat off to a lot of legendary champions, that paved the way for me to be where I'm at in the sport of boxing. But that was their era, and this is my era. I had a tremendous career. And we got young fighters that's on the rise, that's under our banner. The ultimate goal is to find the next Floyd Mayweather that can break my records.
So is Gervonta Davis that guy?
So I want to get this right. I just want to get this right. So I'm a kid that comes from poverty, comes from nothing. 7 of us in a 1-bedroom, mother on drugs, dad career didn't go good. Dad ended up in prison. And I beat all odds and worked extremely hard to get it the legal way. And I'm proud to boast and brag about getting it the legal way.
One of the most striking examples of Mayweather's ostentatious displays of wealth occurred when he was spotted carrying $2.5 million in cash inside a backpack at a public event, foregoing the use of a bank entirely. These moments are part of a larger pattern in which he routinely flashes stacks of cash, expensive watches, and luxury cars to the public and media. Whether attending awards shows or hosting events, Floyd appears determined to reinforce his image as one of the richest athletes alive, an image increasingly questioned by those aware of his legal and financial disputes.
I'm gonna tell you why I like Eddie. So one day, somebody, because I don't have social media on my phone, so they showed me Eddie. Eddie was like, Floyd Mayweather ain't got no money, that's why he doing exhibitions. No, Eddie don't believe that now.
But Eddie will say some shit like that.
Eddie will say some shit. But one thing, don't worry about that. But me and Eddie got it clear. Didn't we, Eddie?
Yeah.
One thing, me and my buddy got it clear.
We said as long as it's 10 or 20, no problem. Anything less. Can't be less than 10. Because then we're struggling for money.
I just showed Eddie some of the account. Eddie, hold on.
Imagine how much money Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter. Two hungry fuckers for money.
Fellow boxing legend Shane Mosley has offered insight into Mayweather's behavior, stating that Floyd's fear of losing isn't limited to boxing, it extends to his wealth and public image. According to Mosley, Mayweather's need to continually earn large sums and flaunt his finances stems from a deep-seated fear of appearing financially diminished. Prominent boxing promoter Eddie Hearn echoed this sentiment, speculating that Mayweather's ongoing reliance on exhibition bouts is a sign of dwindling revenue streams, not a calculated business strategy.
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
And the motivation behind
getting into a ring again to box when he said he's retired. Why? Why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion. Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so Mike Tyson, he did real well too with Vander Holyfield. Again, it's not what you made. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to own, you're going to be broke.
Former MMA fighter and commentator Chael Sonnen also weighed in on Mayweather's situation, claiming that Floyd's financial troubles aren't due to a lack of income, but rather reckless spending. Sonnen implied that Mayweather, despite earning hundreds of millions, may be suffering the consequences of lavish and unsustainable lifestyle choices that could lead to long-term financial instability if left unchecked.
I am just flabbergasted that the highest paid boxer, one of the most famous people on the planet, Floyd Mayweather, has managed to become a repeat offender as a scam artist.
NFT world, guess what?
Guess what?
Drop. And of course, I'm the money man. But guess what?
Sure are.
We're not done yet.
We aren't?
They told me
there's more scamming to be done.
And it's not over.
Oh my God.
Autograph gloves.
Oh my God. That's incredible. 2,000 people that invest in his NFT project get a chance to win autographed gloves. It's crazy. But you might be asking, did he actually follow through on his promises and deliver these gloves? Of course he didn't.
Money May, you all know the rest.
Money May, you all know the rest. You just got scammed again.
Over the years, Mayweather has also been linked to various failed business schemes that left fans and customers disappointed. Notably, some of his promotional ventures have been accused of being scams, such as fake event ticket sales or merchandise promotions that never delivered. A viral TikTok expose claimed that much of Mayweather's brand was based on hype rather than consistent value. These repeated failures to meet consumer expectations have caused many to view Floyd not as a financial genius, but as a master of illusion whose empire is more fragile than it appeared. And that concludes today's deep dive into the complex and controversial world of Floyd Mayweather's financial dealings. Stay tuned for more in-depth stories that pull back the curtain on fame, fortune, and everything in between.